you growling at? What are you growling at? What you see, I don't see. All right, there we go. There we go. Long lead and slip leash. Long lead and slip leash for you, sir. Okay. Now, make sure this is not tangled up. Now we're in business. Okay, big fella. Yeah, Zeus. Come, Zeus. Come, Zeus. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Zeus. Come, good boy. Hey, hey. Stop. That's a good boy. Nope. Come, Zeus. Yes. Come. Yes, good boy. Just working on engagement, working on recall. Hey, stop it. Let me see here. Zeus. Come. Good boy. That's okay. Good. Zeus. Come. Good boy. Place. Come. Place. Yes, right there. Come. Place. Yes. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Free. Good boy. Good boy. No. Hey, hey. Stop it. Starting to rain out here. Hey, that's enough. Not to put you in the house. Hey, what I say? Boy. Yeah. See, I like doing the training with the dogs outside because obviously having this many dogs loose in my house is not practical. Now, I purposely have them in the kennel now because I want to hyper-focus on each dog individually. Sometimes I do group sessions to where all of the dogs are out. And I do that on purpose because it serves as a distraction for the dog that I'm training at the moment. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 moment. we go. So yeah, but now, because I have some specific things I really want to implement, right? We're going to spend this time just focusing on implementing the things that I want to teach. And then as I see he's learning, hey, Black, leave it. As I see that he's learning the things that I want him to learn, then we'll start adding more to right? Because he's already an easily distractible dog. So, get out of there. Zeus. Right here. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Come, Zeus. Come, Zeus. Yes, good boy. Come. Good boy. Place. Sit. Sit. Yes, that's my boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Come. Yes. Nope. 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 So just now what you saw me doing is correcting him for jumping on me, right? Because obviously that's a behavior we don't want. Now yesterday, if you saw the video I did yesterday, you probably saw me allow him to jump on me, right? So this is something where you have to use discernment, right? You don't always have to correct bad behaviors if they're not, one, super egregious. That doesn't mean you're not going to correct them later. That just means it's not that important in the moment, in the grand scheme of things that you're trying to teach in that moment, right? And sometimes you will allow a behavior, you will purposely overlook a behavior because sometimes that behavior is a result of the thing that you asked them to do, right? So for an example, he's an excitable dog. He hasn't learned that jumping, right, is a bad thing yet. So yesterday, I didn't punish him for jumping on me, right? Or I didn't correct him for jumping on me because I purposely was focusing on recall, right? And he's so used to jumping on people when he comes to them. Hey, what's your problem? Shut it down. I'm talking to my German Shepherd. So, he's so used to being able to jump on people when he comes to them, right? Yesterday, I didn't want to punish him when I was calling him to me and he was excited to come. I didn't then, in the same instance, want to punish him for jumping on me, right? Hey, hey! Stop it. Stop it. Sorry, guys, this German Shepherd is a handful, man. See, and that's another thing. A lot of people get a lot of different breeds and they really don't know what they're getting themselves to. So, you know, then when they start getting a lot of the behaviors that are indicative of that particular breed, it's like, oh my God, it's too much. Well, that's the breed that you got. So anyway, off that subject. So yes, back to what I was saying, right? Sometimes I will overlook a lesser behavior because I'm getting the bigger behavior that I'm focusing on in that moment. So I just wanted to bring some clarity to that. So yeah, let me see here if you got any questions. Thank you guys. This isn't my dog. This is actually a dog I'm training for someone. But this isn't my personal dog. But he definitely is a good looking dog. Ain't that right, big fella? Ain't that right, big fella? Yeah. Yes, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Come. Good boy, yes. Yes, come. Good boy, yes. Come. Good boy, yes. Come. Good boy. So believe it or not, guys, this little game of cat and mouse is a fun way to teach your dog the recall, right? A lot of people make a mistake. They think their dog just automatically wants to come to them all the time. And that's not the case for most dogs, right? The reality is there's other things out there in the world that's more interesting than you. So if you don't learn how to become more interested in the things that's out there in the world, your dog is never going to want to come to you when there's things that are more stimulating than you, right? So this may not look like formal training, right? But trust and believe, this will get more results than come, come. That actually makes your dog want to run away from you, right? Because that's stressful, that's not fun, it's not inviting, right? So you have to give your dog a reason to want to come to you, especially if you're not using treats, which is another issue that a lot of people have, right? They don't know how to get their dog to respond to them unless they got a treat in their hand. So my theory is, you become the treat. You become the thing that stimulates the dog, that gets the dog pumping endorphins, right? That gets the dog pumping dopamine, right? Makes the dog feel good when it gets it, right? So that's the key to one, doing what we call, what's the word that we call it in the dog world? I'm going to think of it in a minute. Shaping a dog. It's not shaping a dog. It's I'm going to think of it in a minute. But the point is to get the dog to build a relationship to where it's happy to do the things that you want it to do, not being forced to do it. And there's some times where you kind of have to use some levels of force, right? Again, that takes levels of discernment. That takes a while to really learn when you're dealing with a dog, right? So you don't have that much space to work with because obviously it's raining. But we're going to continue to work. Ain't that right, big fella? Ain't that right, big fella? Yes. Good boy. Matter of fact, I want to take this off because I really don't need this long lead. I really don't need it. I only really use it for the most part is when I open the gate, so that way if they decide to try to run away, they can't run away. But he has nowhere to run away to. So there's really no point in me having a long lead on. So let's get that out the way. We can just leave the slip lead on, right? Zeus, yes, good boy. Right here, come on, place. So right now, I'm just teaching him the technique of place, right? Place, yes, right there. Yeah, good boy, sit. That's my boy. That's my boy, yeah. That's my boy. Free, free. Good boy, yeah. Good boy, good boy, good boy, yes. That's a good boy. Good boy, yeah. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. All of this stuff, man, builds a relationship with the dog. It builds a bond with the dog. That makes the dog want to be with you. That makes the dog want to do everything you want it to do because everything you're doing is fun, right? Yeah, come. Yes, come. Good boy, yes. Good boy, yes. Right here. Come. Place. Yes. Good boy. That's a good boy. Sit. Yeah, that's a boy. That's a boy. That's a boy. That's a boy. Yes. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah. That's a good boy. Yes. Yeah. Good. So we let him do his thing for a minute. And we come back and do that again, right? No treats, folks. I am the treat, right? I am the treat. Yep. Zeus, good boy. 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 Sit. Yeah, that's my boy, Zeus. That's my boy. That's my boy, Zeus. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a handsome fella. You're a handsome fella. Yeah. You're a handsome fella. Yes, you are. Good boy. Good boy, yes. Good boy. Okay, so he's distracted. All right, not anymore. He's coming back to me. Good boy. Let me see what toys I got to see here. All right. I only use the toys for distraction. Yes. Get it. Zeus! Come. That's good boy, good boy. That's my boy. That's my boy, Zeus. That's my boy, Zeus. That's my boy, Zeus. That's my boy, Zeus. That's my boy. That's my boy. Come. Come. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Come. Yes, come. Zeus. Right there. Come. Yes, good boy. Yes. Sit. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Come. Place. Sit. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. Now, by default, we're working on duration, right? Which means stay in that position until I ask you to do something else, right? Zeus, come. Good boy. Right here. Come. Yes, come. He doesn't want to go in the rain. Zeus, come. Good boy. Come on. See, he doesn't want to go in the rain. Come. Yes. Place. Sit. Good boy, yes. That's a good boy, Zeus. That's a good boy. Yes. Good boy. That's a good boy. So yeah, folks, that's how we do that. We're going to keep building on that. We're going to keep building on that, but we're going to put this guy away. We're going to bring out the next dog. We're going to bring out the next dog. Oh, I forgot this dog actually goes. And I actually have to put him over here. I'm still here, folks, just putting this fellow away. Come on. Good boy. In your room. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Okay, now we're going to bring out Mr. Quincy. All right, Mr. Quincy, yes. Now, Quincy is an older dog, right? He's an older dog. He's not as confident, right? He's very, very clingy, very needy dog, right? So a lot of the things that we've been working on with him, right, is confidence building, right? So obviously we've been doing some obedience because a part of confidence is being obedient, but just socializing with other dogs, being able to function without the presence of a human being right next to you, right? He used to be super clingy, right? He did not want to be nowhere but right here next to me. Now, he still has some improvement to do, but he's gotten a lot better, right? So, we're just going to work with him on some things. Yes, good boy. Quincy, come on, right here. Yes. Place. Sit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. Sit. Come. Right here. Place. Yes. Come. Place. I said place by accident. Sit. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. That's a good boy. Sit. Good boy. So again, working on duration. Working on duration, right? Working on, believe it or not, this is very hard for a dog because the dog wants to see you. So when you go behind the dog, especially when you have a dog that's already low confidence, right? It's hard for a dog to not keep his eye on you and not want to move with you at the same time. Or it's hard for a dog to not have his eyes on you and not want to come find you, right? Especially when you have an excessively angry dog. So, this exercise, me walking in a circle behind him, is huge, right? Because naturally, his natural inclination is, I need to see where you are because I want to be where you are, right? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing when it's healthy. But when it's excessive, then it becomes a bad thing. And again, with him, it's very excessive. Quincy, come. Good boy. Right there, come on. Place. Sit. Hey, sit. Good boy. That's my boy. Yes. Down. Yes. Good boy. Ah. Down. Yes. Good boy. Notice I don't use the word stay. Ah. Down. There we go. That's good. Yep. Notice I don't use the word stay. My stay is an implied stay. Down. But the good thing about this is this shows you that you don't down. This shows you that you don't need a whole lot of space to train your dog, right? Obviously, space is a benefit, but it's not a necessity, right? You don't need a whole lot of space to work your dog. Okay? The rain started to slow down, so I might open up the gate so we have some more space. Good. Quincy. Yes. Good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. Come on. Come on. Right here. Place. Sit. That's a good boy. Good boy. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Yes. Free. Yes. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. That's a good boy. Quincy. Chubby man. Chubby man. Yes. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Come. Yes. Oh, my bad. Stepped on your foot by accident. Good boy. Heel. Come. Place. Don't worry about the commotion in the back. Good boy. Good boy. Hey! Cut it out. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Every time I get that eye contact, I try to reward that. Because that's the engagement that we want. Heel. Right there. Yes, good boy. Come. Free. Excuse me. I'm in place. Sit. Good boy. Good. Heel. Sit. Yes, that's a good boy. Hey, up here. Yes, that's my boy. That's my boy. Yes, that's my boy. Good. Heel. 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 Sit. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Now, if you notice, because he's so handler sensitive, right? You don't have to do hard corrections with him, right? You can be very gentle on the corrections for the most part. Now, there may be situations where the corrections have to be more assertive, but 85 to 90% of the time, you don't have to be heavy-handed with him. Now, there's some dogs where you have to be more assertive, right? Just depending on the personality of the dog. Excuse me, sir, I didn't ask you to move. Sit. Sit. Yes, good boy. So yeah, depending on the personality of depending on the personality of the dog, right? You're gonna have to be more assertive or less assertive, and that's where you have to be able to read your dog, right? Come. Place. Sit. Yes, good boy. Down. Notice I hold it until he puts his entire belly on the ground, right? Because if I release it before he puts his entire belly on the ground, that's communicating to him that the behavior is done, right? So you have to make sure if you're going to use that leash pressure, the release of the pressure is the communication that the behavior is complete. If you release the pressure before the behavior is complete, then they're not going to complete the behavior, right? Quincy, come. Yes, good boy, yes. Sit. That's my boy. That's my boy. Come. Good boy. Come. Place. Sit. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. Down. Down. There we go. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yes. That's a good boy. Free. Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. On that free, I always want to have a little fun. Now, if you notice, my level of fun is much lower than it is with Zeus because he's such a lower energy dog, right? So he doesn't require for me to be super animated, right? That animation on some dogs can actually be intimidating, right? So again, you have to know your dog and know how to communicate with your dog effectively, right? Because every dog is slightly different. Obviously, some dogs are going to be very similar, but every dog is slightly different, right? Good boy, yes. Heel, sit. Just doing a little testing, right, on off leash. Sit. Yes, good boy. Sit. Now, I'm not so hyper-focused on his positioning to be perfect, right? I just want him to get the reps in to ingrain in the behaviors, right? So that's essentially what we're doing right now. We're just doing reps, right? Reps, because I've already implemented all the things that I wanted to teach. So now it's about reps. And that's typically how it works, right? And again, it depends on the dog. It depends on the dog. Some dogs, just like people, are smarter than other dogs, right? Some dogs are exceptionally smart. Some dogs are exceptionally dumb. You have that range in people too, right? So again, depending on the specific dog is going to determine how long it takes a dog to pick up a concept, right? Now he's a very smart dog, so it doesn't take him long to pick up a concept or to understand, right? His issue is he's extremely anxious, right? He's extremely fear-based driven, right? So a lot of his behavior is based on that, right? Overthinking, right? So, and the reason why, I know that kind of sounds weird when you talk about a dog overthinking, but you can have dogs that are overthinkers too. And the reason why is because they're constantly looking for the negative thing to happen, right? They're hyper neurotic, right? So, and that's his issue. He's hyper-neurotic. So he's constantly looking around, scanning around for the next bad thing to happen. So he can say, I told you so, right? When 99% of the time, that thing doesn't even happen. Now, it just so happens, right, it's raining outside. And one of the things that he's scared of is lightning and thunder, right? So I can only assume, right, that in his mind, he's waiting for the lightning and thunder to come. And ironically, I am too, right? So this way I can teach him the lightning and the thunder is not going to hurt him, right? Now this is one of those things where you kind of have to catch lightning in the bottle, pun intended, because it's not something you can easily duplicate, right? Even when you put lightning and thunder on a stereo, it's still not the same effect because the dog knows the difference. He hears the noise, but he knows it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't sound the same. It doesn't smell the same, right? Because rain has a specific smell, right? So he knows typically when it rains, then you get thunder and lightning. So when you try to duplicate that artificially with just the sound of thunder and lightning on a stereo, right, it doesn't stimulate all of the senses like it normally does when it happens naturally, right? So these are one of the things where it's kind of hard, right, when someone tells me they have an issue with their dog, right? Look, right? So I have to correct him when he does that, right? Because this is him starting to get that anxiety, right? And the last thing I want to do is be empathetic to this, right? Because the more empathetic I am to him being fearful, the more fearful he's going to get, right? That's literally how it works. And unfortunately, this is what most people do. They become overly empathetic